Hi. Welcome to day 2 of Curly Cuts with myself and Coco Santiago here from New York City. We are going to start the day today by kind of recapping what we did yesterday with the group here that did hands-on coaching with us. And then we're going to get right into our first demo. I'm excited. We have a curly bob today with baby bangs. And we have another mullet, because why not, right? Different one though. Okay, so we are gonna start the day with bringing Coco up. So come on up. Come on down, you're the next contestant. So we just kind of wanted to ask you guys how the day was yesterday. How did it go for you? And Eric, do we have the microphone just ready for them? So yeah, let's just kind of talk about.
Do you want them to go each or just ask
Just
questions?
whoever wants to.
Okay.
You guys don't all have to talk, although there's not a lot of you, so we could all talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, like sharing aha moments, or, you know, what did you learn from the consultation portion? Did you like the consultation portion? Things like that. So anyone want to share? Anything? I'm just gonna wait till someone shares.
I just really appreciated being pushed out of my box. What I really took away was starting with layers first, which is what I don't normally do. So that's really exciting moving forward in just my technique and my craft. But it was amazing, and I had so much fun.
Cool.
Thank you. Summer, you want to share?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I just really love the group consultations. I feel like I always get something out of just hearing someone else's approach, even if it like ends up changing, just seeing how like another hairdresser would tackle something is really cool. And getting like feedback from everyone. I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
We need to restart.
Oh. Oh, okay, hi. Okay.
Spain is live right now, but there's a glitch with the Pony app.
Okay.
Live.
Oh, okay.
So just, I'm gonna put you live and then just explain that.
Put me live.
Put me live. That's Steve, y'all.
Can we be live?
Steve, the sound guy.
Hey, Steve, the sound guy.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of Curly Cuts with myself and Coco Santiago.
Good morning.
We are excited to do a couple more demos for you guys, and our models are fantastic. So we are actually in the middle of talking to the people that are here in studio that did hands-on, the hands-on portion with us yesterday. And we're asking them just to share a couple of their takeaways and, you know, talking about consultations.
Consultations, like, did you like the group consultations? What did you get out of it? What was like an aha moment, like you were saying? And more of that today, you know? What,
Yeah, cool. So one more, if we can get one more of you to share something, just a takeaway, thank you.
Cool.
I really enjoyed being pushed out of my comfort zone as well, and I found it really amazing how quickly you can forget to do something. Like, you know how to do something so mechanically, and then you get pushed out of your zone, and you have to restructure your brain so immensely that you're like, I don't know how to cut hair anymore. Oh my god! And then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I can do this. I can do this. Yeah, it's good. It was really great, and I thought about it a lot last night. It was
That's
lovely.
awesome, thank you. Yeah, we were actually talking about consultations and specifically your consultation.
She's like, oh my God.
And I was thinking like, gosh, how nerve-wracking to do a consultation in front of a group of people watching you. And like, I'm sure everybody felt uncomfortable, right? Yes. And so like, you're gonna say things that maybe you wouldn't say at all when you're actually in your own comfort zone and your own salon. So we appreciate you guys doing that in front of everyone, and sorry about the, you know, uncomfortability, but it is good.
But it's
right?
good to be a little bit uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. Even when I was talking to you about it, I was just like, okay, I'm going to say something, but I really just need to get in there and tell you what are the things that are going on in your head that aren't specifically coming out, right? And then regrouping. And then because it's all the nerves, right? You have all these nerves and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So you just say everything. Like, did I say everything? Is that, all right, so let's back it up. But I think that
You're like, I'm a good student. I learned all the things you
Yeah.
did, and I'm saying it all. Yes.
But it's, you know what, it's, you know, you're out of the salon, you're all coming here learning, and then we put you in a spot, and you're like you said, you forget everything because you're here to learn, right? So you want to just learn and kind of forget everything you know and learn something new. But it's not about learning something new, it's taking what you know, taking what we share, and then mixing that up.
Merging them. Yeah.
And then it turns into a different...
Your own style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's important. You all have your own style in the way that you do things. And so anyway, we just really wanted to reiterate how important consultations are. And that is the time when you study them, you look at all their growth patterns, you take a look at the density. Is it less dense here and more dense, you know, all around here, right? Is that what's going on? And can I balance that out? And balance and proportion are huge. And your vision. So when you're looking at your person, like, what do you see? And
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to see something, right? Unless you can get like a group of people to be like, oh yeah, now I see it, right? And I think the main thing is to make an impact. So when you are changing someone, it should be impactful, even if it's just a bang.
Yeah.
Or even
And
if
your
it's
bang
just
could,
a stronger
you're talking about a bang,
perimeter.
but it might not, like, as soon as you say bang, sometimes people are like, oh, I don't want to bang. But a bang doesn't necessarily have to be here, right? So it's like learning the different phases of bangs and where it goes on the face, and what you might think is a bang, she might think is a little bit more of like a sweepy, long, like shorter to longer. You know what I mean? So it's just learning how to consult with your clients and even just with each other. Like geeking out in the back, like, oh my God, did you see what I did with the bang?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
so, like, that's how we were last night. We were like all geeking out. I was even saying
For
to her, I
hours.
said, do you remember, I said, do you realize that we were not on our phones? I can't remember the last time I had like a dinner and not also being on the phone. So it was really nice
Yeah,
to
we
kind of
didn't
geek
even
out.
think of it. But yes, what was I going to say about that? I was going to say something about what you were just saying, and now I lost my train of thought, but it'll come back. Oh yeah, I was going to say, Eric and I talked about how when we take classes ourselves, we also forget everything we know.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, what did you want me to do? I don't know how to do that. Like, can you show me exactly what you mean? So it's okay. We totally get it. You guys are a great group of hairdressers with a lot of experience in the room, by the way, I might add. So we feel really
Totally.
awesome that you guys are
guys
here
are
spending your time
amazing.
here.
Really good class yesterday.
Should we
It
get
was so
started?
good. Yeah, let's do it.
Also, can I interject a little bit on
Yes.
the consultations? And I think one of the things that's really, I feel like, been unique about working here at Pony is that we will pull another stylist over and do a consultation, like two stylists with our clients sometimes, and clients love it. And it also sometimes takes out like, I'm doing the same thing, I want to do something slightly different on this person, and getting somebody else's viewpoint really helps. But it's also like having that consultation, we need to be on the same kind of terms and talk about like, when we're talking about like where we want it to hit, like I want to hit mid cheekbone, we're actually like talking about where we're going to go, and there's a plan that's made. So when it's executed, the client's like, oh, that's not what you talked about. I thought it was going to sit here. We're really clear about where something is going to sit. And that's why the consultation yesterday was like, where do we want it to sit on the face? What are we looking at?
Yeah, and definitely don't say like cheekbone and then not hit the cheekbone, right? Like you're better off saying like somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Right? Your bangs are gonna be somewhere around here, because then you have a lot more like, freedom. But if you're like, I'm gonna hit it here, you better nail it, right? So remember the words you choose to use are very important. And one of the other things we talked about was our model yesterday was like, yeah, a long time ago I went to get my hair cut and my hairdresser told me, what was it? It was something negative.
I remember.
Oh yeah, she's like, I had a patch of hair back here that was like a different texture. And she described it as, she goes, I can't remember right now, but it was like really negative. And she's like, I've never forgotten that in my life.
Oh my God.
And I kind of reiterated to her like, yeah, that's one thing. We have the power to make people feel really good. And we also have the power to not make them feel really good. So, and people remember those things. Like, do you ever get clients that are like, yeah, somebody told me my forehead was too small and I can't have bangs, right? And it's like, they never forget that. You can give them a million compliments, but they're going to remember the one thing
So true.
for the rest of their
So
lives.
true.
So yeah, so when I say like really important to choose the right words, and so just, today in our consultations are really going to be deliberate and intentional. Cool. Okay, so Ella, do you want to come up?
Ella,
Ella Umbrella,
Ella.
is our first model.
Ella, oh my God, these curls are delicious. She came in and I was just like, oh God, I love it.
Coco's like, my curls used to look like that.
I know they did, honey. Whoops. I was also 18.
18 and very
Like,
real.
I remember, like, I don't know, they just started changing as I got older, you know? But that's okay. All right, so let's see. Ella talked about, like, things that she did have before, so we wanted to change it up and give her something different. So I was thinking, and let's talk about her texture first. So the curls definitely are all the same. They're just like ringlets. They're beautiful. They're bouncy. Her hair, oh geez, this thing always gets me. Her hair texture is like, it's medium, it's not too dense. It's just a lot of it. And it's, I mean, I keep on saying it's so beautiful, but it is. I mean, the curls are just amazing. Look at those, right? So she wanted something different. So we started thinking like 80s bangs and like taking it up and leaving like some bits here and then doing a really cool like 80s bang like Irene Cara from Fame kind of deal. And you could just see just doing this, how different her whole face looks, right? It's like,
Cute.
so the good thing about this cut is I'm going to use the razor straight through and I'm really going to go through where I'm opening it, why I'm doing that, why I'm using the tip, why I'm using the heel, and really get into that stuff, right? Because we wanted to learn, like, when do you use a razor? When do you kind of maybe not use a razor? I think, like we were saying yesterday, you could use a razor on anyone. It just depends on how you use it, right? So as far as products, I'm going to wet it down, use a little grooming cream, and because I like to see the style like reviving or, you know, start evolving. And that's it. Did I get everything? Texture, curl, bangs, bob, some little bits. Let me see her hairline. Let's look at the hairline. Oh my God, a dream. Oh, I need oxygen. It's a dream. I mean, come on, look at us. I mean, it's just beautiful. So I'm not gonna take it in, right? I'm gonna take maybe like the first section in and then I'm gonna just drop everything down and build it. Not a graduation. It's gonna look a little bit shorter, almost like graduation, but because it's gonna be me removing some of the weight. So that frees up some room for it to kind of lay in between each other. And I'll go through that when I'm doing it.
What's the overall length of the bob going to be?
So I want it to come shorter to longer. So I'm thinking like right about here. Like
Yeah, somewhere around here.
Yeah. I want it to be right up against the hair.
So you guys know now those secret words. Like, you know, if you hear us on stage being like, somewhere around here, you know that we're like, it might
somewhere around here, just in case I mess it up a little bit. So yeah. I mean, I like the drama.
Mid-neck.
Yeah. And if you look, I'm trying to move out of the way because of my black dress. You can see right there, you could see like her right here. So just looking at her face, using like her chin to her cheekbone and just looking to see where everything's lying. And just gives you a clear vision, right? I'm trying to do it with the camera and I'm like opposite. Okay.
And then the length in the front will be?
It's gonna come shorter to longer because I wanna have some of these bits. So I might keep more than that I want, or I might not. So I'll make that decision after I see it. And then the bangs are gonna be silly, really nice and tight,
Micro short.
micro short. So it's just gonna be like boop. And I'm gonna do the bangs last.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the extra last. And that's it. Cool?
Yes. Excited.
All right, and so I'm just gonna wet it down a little bit. And then
Do you
just
have any questions, comments, concerns?
questions, comments, concerns.
Like, well, I think that's one of the things when we get into curly hair, sometimes people are concerned about using the razor on curly hair.
Yeah.
So this is comfortable for people to cut curly hair with a razor, or is it one of those areas where we
Not dry.
Not dry with the razor.
Not dry.
Yeah. So it's not gonna be completely dry. It's gonna be
Since
damp.
you're cutting with the razor, you're gonna wet it a little more
Yeah.
than yesterday.
And with like a conditioning agent. Right?
Yeah.
Not just water.
And her hair's pretty soft too, so I know it's not gonna react bad, you know? So I'm just braiding the stuff that I'm not using and getting it out of the way. Am I good here? Starting here? Or am I better on the other side? Yeah, okay. Just sectioning things out. I don't want to use a clip, but I might have to. And do we have any? Yes, I do.
I have a question. So we looked and saw that she does have a really nice hairline, but had she not, in those instances, like I'll use the flat of my razor sometimes to help build a hairline. In curly hair, would you do the same thing back there? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you know what's funny? You'll see what I do back here, because when I do the micro bangs, I'll have to use the flat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So high hairline versus low hairline, rather than nice hairline versus not nice. So she's got a high hairline.
Yeah, but it's clean. There's no little kicks in it or anything. And if I really want to go through it, I could just cut each curl and see how it's placed. I'm going to use the flat of my
Active,
blade.
not active.
Yeah, I'm going to use the flat of my blade. My tension is not tight. It's just taut. And I'm going to use the flat up and down until it disappears.
Coco, why don't you want to use a clip? Like when you said you were trying to avoid using a clip.
Because I never really use clips. I kind of put it behind the ear, but it's also dry, so.
Coco, can you just take a half step to your left and swing both of you a little bit? Left.
That is my left. You mean right. This is my right. Say it again.
Her left
Or left.
Thanks.
is that way.
My left is this way. I'm like, wait a minute.
She's like, I did do that.
Right, I did. And better?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So I'll do this. Sorry, I'll use my mirror.
Mirror.
My mirror. And then those little baby hairs, don't worry about it. Just pinch and just get rid of them.
Yeah,
Like,
when you're pinching, you're getting a little extra tension, right?
Yeah. Like, don't obsess over it.
It's beautiful. I still remember seeing a video of you cutting your fringe
God.
with your razor.
Crazy.
Oh, baby.
Nobody wanted to do it. I'm like, I want it done. They're like, Coco, no, don't do it.
Don't cut your curls
Don't
off.
do it. Sounds like Kevin Hart. No. No. I love me some Kevin Hart.
What do you need?
Got it. I brought my little travel
What is
size.
that?
It's my little travel sizes for myself. It's just some defining cream. I need, guys, oh, here it is. Thank you. I'm like, where's my grooming cream? He's like, it's there, Coco, look for it. So again, touching the hair, looking at it, it's talking to me. It's saying, I want to be here, I want to be here, I want to be here, I want to be here. So again, not a lot of tension. And now I'm going to use the tip with a big stroke. Am I good? Yeah. So still I haven't removed any weight because I sat that in the first section with the flat of my blade. How do you guys feel about the way the razor is making the curls look? Or is it still freaking you out? So even when you take weight out, grab it, put the razor in, tap it in, like tap it down, and just remove some of that weight. It doesn't have to be like aggressive. It's just making spaces for the hair that's coming down.
Are you dropping?
Yes.
I was just asking, yeah, so you're dropping just a little bit
A
from
little
your
bit.
previous section. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that to help kind of collapse it when it's finished or just to get to
It's
your
to
line?
help it sit in a bit.
Okay.
And you're trying to keep it more one length, right?
Yes.
Or like one length. So the appearance of a one length. So if she were to go to each, if she were to take each section to the same as the previous, then it would start to graduate. Yes?
So we have a question from online, Coco,
Yes.
from D. Would you prefer to use the scissors if the texture was coarse and thick?
I would. Only because when it's coarse, sometimes the razor reacts differently. Like, that's a tricky question. But I prefer to see how the hair reacts before I choose. So I won't not do it, but I would want to see how the hair is reacting. And if it works out, then fine, let's do it.
And sometimes I'll start the whole haircut with the razor on like a certain type of hair, and if I feel like the ends need a little like chomp with the scissor because they need that weight, then I'll just go in after my haircut and do a few like chomps here and there. And I feel like that's another way to approach it if you're worried about what the razor does to the hair.
Also, we have another question from Jezebel. Without tension, how are you able to not rough up the cuticle and create frizz? So you had tension between your fingers.
So there is tension between my fingers, but it's not tight like this. Because if I do that and I cut it, it's going to jump up even more. So I'm trying to cut it at its own like. I don't want it to jump up. So I'm giving it room.
But there is tension. You're holding the tension
Yeah, no, I
of the hair
definitely
between
have-
your fingers,
yes.
but you're not putting major tension from the scalp.
Exactly. Yeah. Tilt a little bit.
Can you turn towards us again,
Sorry, I moved it the wrong way.
with yourself as well? Yep, there you are.
What about you guys? Are you okay looking that way? Okay, so then I can do it. Thanks. So now I'm looking at this curl. And if you look at it, I could go in here and remove some weight, right? And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not really tight. I'm kind of letting it live where it wants to live, but I'm holding on to it, right? Pushing it up so I can see where the bend is, putting my razor in, tilting it, and just coming down.
And the tilt is so that she's cutting on the edge of the blade,
Yes.
not the flat of the blade.
And then I'm bringing it down.
And that last question was from Jet, and she says thank you.
You're welcome, Jet.
Thanks, Jet.
Jet is,
Do you know Jet?
yes, I know Jet. Jet is a very amazing hairdresser from Long Island. And she picks my brain all the time, and I love her for it.
Yeah. Jet is always with us.
Yes, she
Like
definitely
on
is.
at every
I know.
and she's always asked questions.
So thank you, Jet.
And that's why I'm like, you know her? Because I didn't know you knew her. She's,
Yeah.
she's just always here.
So if you're looking, I keep on wanting to turn her. So if you look at it, you could see it's not building up weight, but it's sitting well, right? And to the other side. Looking at the bounce, taking some weight like right in there. I could even come from behind. Take that weight out. A very large stroke. Oh, that's my head. I see it. He's like Coco. And then touching it and feeling to make sure there's, balance. Do I need to take more weight out? Looking for a
Coco?
lot more balance. Yes.
Do the larger strokes help the curls lay in the way that you're trying, like with your goal of having the curls blend in with each other? Is that why you're doing the larger strokes?
So the larger stroke is giving me more of a softer feel. So the tighter the stroke, the tighter the line. The larger the stroke, the more free the line is.
Okay, thank you.
And then like if you get here, just bring her up like your model and just look to see, check where it is that you're going with. Oh, you can see everything, right? Because we get so like we're into it and and then we bring them up. It's like, oh man, she's got like a little diaper bag in the back,
Or it's way longer than I wanted it to be. It's droopy, right? Droopy.
butt. Then you're like, oh, I can't even fix it at my next client's here.
Next time.
Next time. It looks great.
Live and learn, right?
I think that's part of like what we do because sometimes I'm like running after my client if I see a bit or if I want to cut something shorter. That's where it's different like when you're teaching and you have the time and you really think out what you're going to do because it's not like you could just cut it, right? You really have to plan it out and that's like what we're talking about, consultations. Because you
How
can't.
much time do
Sorry.
I was just going to ask about how much time people are booking for their hair.
Well, I book an hour and 15 minutes. So that was something that happened during COVID. Because like the city was crazy. People just left. We didn't have staff. And, I'm used to having an assistant, which we don't really have anymore. We have to do our own stuff, which is fine. But back in the day, you remember, Karina, there was like 25 assistants at Bumble.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So you see now I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's coming out a little bit, getting big. So I'm just gonna drop it a little bit more and keep on removing weight. And I think that's gonna be my section. That's gonna be my guide for the rest of it. Sweat it a little bit more.
Coco, are you keeping your head tilted down for the entirety of the back, or it's just kind of until it's like a
Yeah, Just,
open.
but remember how I picked it up to make
Yeah.
sure I was going,
Yeah, but when you're cutting, you're putting it back down.
Yeah, it's just easy, camera,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's just Coco is probably being really aware of her balance and proportion as she goes, and then cutting for comfort and also for demo. But that's one thing you just don't want to ever take your mind off of. It's like, how's it going? Where am I at? Always check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Before you wreck yourself. And the clients are always moving around. So you just have to make sure you hit your target. So you see now how I'm like looking at the pattern of the curl? Because the hair is getting more dense by the occipital bone. So I have to be aware of what's going on, feeling this out, looking at it. Not too tight, because if I do it too tight, it's going to bounce up. Right, looking at the form of the curl, putting my razor in, taking some of that weight out, and then eyeballing it. And it's like no comb, freehand, feeling, looking at it, moving it around. We get so fixated on this. It's like, with curls, you have to kind of just step out of the box a little bit. How's that looking? I want to move her, and then I'm like, no, she's perfect. So the hair doesn't have to be soaking wet, because I want to see the curl.
Last time I saw this model, Ella, she had bleach blonde curls.
She's like, oh, what happened?
You look good in both.
Tell me if you can't see. So again, bouncing it up, taking some weight out, getting rid of it. Cool. And I like to be able to see my guide versus feel it, because it's all free. I'm not doing it with a comb. Big stroke, move it around. How do you guys feel about no comb cutting? Does it freak you out? Anybody just freehand cut like that, just with their hands, using their hands?
We have a couple of people that are raising their hand a little.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was like really trying not to reach yesterday. I feel like that was like.
And I think that, I don't use the comb a lot, especially towards the end, because I really want to feel the texture of the hair. I really want to feel where that weight is still. And I move things around. Like this, I don't know what the hell's going through my head, but it just helps me feel what's going on versus, just the comb, especially towards the end.
I do want to talk a little more too about what Coco's doing. As you see her moving the hair, touching the hair, kind of scrunching it and doing, what she's doing, it's part of the process. So she's feeling for density. Is there a dense pocket here? Is everything light? Is everything bouncing up? Does everything look balanced? And so it's a constant thing that you do as you're cutting. And so you'll see, that's one of the things I learned when I started working at Bumble in New York, was how to feel for balance. And you could close your eyes and feel the difference from one side to the other. You can feel that with length as well. So, just like putting your hands through from roots to ends and feeling and being like, oh yeah, this side's a little bit heavier. So that's what you'll see. I just kind of want you to keep that in mind while you're watching Coco.
And I am bringing it back a little bit because I don't want to round my corner. I don't mind a little corner here. So I feel some weight. I'm just going to go in.
And look at that profile. It's looking so good, Coco.
Oh, yeah. And these things, like we're back here, I might go through them, but they might just look really cute like that too. So again, that's the whole fixation on things. Like, don't get fixated until the end, because those bits might look super cute. Super.
Coco used to make fun of us when she'd come here
And
because
now
we
I
all said
say it.
super, whatever, yeah. Super cute.
Super.
So why do you guys all say super before everything?
But it was just, I don't know what happened, but everybody was saying super. Like,
Now it's stuck.
now I say it too.
So grooming cream is kind of like a heavier, stronger curl revive, right?
Yeah.
It's like their strong
Correct,
older brother. Or sister.
Yeah, it has a little more weight to it.
Yeah, it's more of like a deflating product. Deflating? Like.
Yeah, but it also,
squishing?
but I feel like it also
Squishing.
builds some density into the hair too. When I put it on mine, it
Yeah.
actually makes my hair feel a little thicker and fuller.
Yeah, but it
but
can
it does-
deflate your
it
hair if
can.
your hair is just like this. Yeah, so it's got that weight to it that can hold it down. And it does have some hold to it too. So I like to describe products because if you don't use this line, you might have a product the same description, you know. I think with Mr. Smith, it's the curl cream. It's like the heavier, stronger hold, will hold
Yep.
the curls down, maybe even stretch them out a little bit.
Yeah, even the cream in Mr. Smith too, in the jar is good for
Oh,
that
yeah.
also. In Jet's comment about, I believe, doing the detail work that you're talking about at the very end, Coco, with the hairline, I do a lot of that with pixies and shorter haircuts when I dry cut them at the end. And that's just fine tuning. And she loves how tailored it becomes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that little stuff on the bottom looks cute. But if you get rid of it right away, you'll never know. Or like the haircut will look harsher when you get rid of it. Those little bits sometimes make it look softer, so.
So when you're doing the weight removal, you had mentioned for one of the passes you kind of went behind or underneath.
Yes.
What would be the benefit of doing that then, I guess, on the surface?
So it's because I wanted, thank you for asking that question. So if I take it and take weight out and twist my blade this way, I'm removing that weight here. But if I bring the razor in, I'm removing the weight on the left side.
Okay.
So it's like, so it's
Can you
like
apply that
here.
technique to straight hair too?
Yes.
I thought for a second that was Steve.
So you see how much it's jumping up now? So if I would have been really taut with that, it would have been like, shh. She would have been graduated. Which would have been fine
The
too.
consultation, you'd be like, this might be like one length, or it might be graduated.
Yeah.
Let's just wait
So
till
it's
the
gonna
end.
be like,
Have a
or it's
little
gonna
both
be
in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be one leg with a little graduation, just in case.
It just wasn't working.
I changed my mind.
Yeah. I'm like what? Yes.
Awesome.
It's looking cute. You'll see how it has that almost graduation look to it. But I pulled everything down, but because I made room in there, it's kind of like just going,
Yeah, the triangular, the triangle is going to be alleviated, you know? So it gives it a longer grow out.
what's my time?
What did
Anyone?
you say?
Time?
What time? Oh, what's the time?
We have 33 minutes.
What are you checking for?
I'm checking for, you see how that's coming around? So when I take weight out, I'm going to get more intentional with it so that it lays better. So I'm looking to see what's going to happen, like pushing it, moving it, and seeing what's going to happen when I cut it. I normally like take this when I'm doing a haircut like this and I'm like on the side so that I could just tap it every time I use it. I'm like tap, 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 tap. So that's a little too much hair, so I'm gonna make a smaller section. Because at this point I want to be able to see my guide. Coming from behind, scooping some of that weight out, and then just looking for the line. I'm not elevating it, I'm bringing it down. You see how I bring it up, take the weight out, and then when I cut the line, I come down? Because if you don't, you'll show, it'll get graduated. I hate when it gets so quiet. Everybody's like, "Rawr." Nerding out on the hair.
The day 2 quiets.
Is that I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Okay, this might be an obvious question, but
Okay.
the benefit of elevating it to take weight out is just that when it lays down, it's just that much softer, right? Is that?
Well, because when you do this, trying to take the weight out, it's like if you do it this way, you can see it better.
Okay.
That's the only difference. But you just have to remember to bring it down if you're not trying to cause graduation.
Yeah, I think Summer, you bring up a good point. If you're elevating hair away from where it lives and you're taking out weight, it will disappear a little better because you're elevating it away, right? But you can also create that same disappearing kind of weight removal by holding it down, depending on your stroke, right? And how quickly you travel through the hair. And and then the other reason you want to pull it away from the previous hair is so that you aren't taking any weight out from underneath that section. You're really just focusing on that section that you're on. So that's kind of another reason. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to think about all the reasons why you would elevate to take out weight, there's a few things.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than an oopsie moment. Like, oops.
Like when you're taking out weight and you see where you enter, because you have a big chunk, right, that's shorter than everything else, that's something you want to avoid. So when you're going in, when you enter, it's important to slide down quickly instead of slowly. Do you know what I mean? Or like more horizontal, more vertically. And that's going to be a little bit less visible than if you go slightly horizontal. Does that make sense? With your angle of your blade. So a little more vertical rather than, yeah?
Where's my bun not showing? Where do I go? Over here, I think.
Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, looks so good with the bob.
Right?
Yeah.
So then I'm just trying to figure out what hairs do I want to leave. So that was the hardest part of it. The meat of it.
The meal.
The meal.
This is just a snack now.
This is a snack. Snatch a snack.
Bob snack.
So we have a comment from Corey online saying, thanks, I'm loving it. And also Dee commented again, I guess you would also adjust the stroke or length in case the curls are different formations or tighter.
Yeah, definitely. Like there was bits that I didn't take weight out of because it was okay. And again, see how much I'm touching the hair? It's super important. And I'm taking it at like a vertical section because I want to leave some bits. And on this section, I do not want to take any weight out, right now anyway. Or maybe I will. Right behind the ear. You'll see it, you'll feel it. Bring it back so you don't take your corner off. Because I could always pinch that in the front if it's too long. But once it's gone, c'est la vie. And these curls will go into that little baby bang fringe. It's already telling me this is what I want to do.
I gotta be a baby.
What's better, if I just turn her this
Here,
way
right,
or
listen.
go on that side? Here.
I'm a baby. I don't have any money.
Taking my section vertically.
You just wrap it around some other curls.
Yeah.
I think not using clips helps you get really good control of hair. You know, you just learn all these little ways to keep the hair where you want it to be.
Just take it side a little bit. Perfect. See where it's sitting. Whoop, nope. Again, feeling for balance, looking to see if I need to remove weight. Just a little. Oops, sorry. And when I'm doing this stuff, I'm just like pulling it out, feeling for weight, also just putting whatever product I have in my hands in the hair. Okay, let's see what's going on. Turn towards me. Just going to take a little bit more weight out of here so it sits in a little bit better.
That profile is so beautiful, Coco.
Thank you.
Strong.
It is
right?
really strong, but it's not. It's got a softness to it, even with being a strong, really graphic shape. It's.
How you doing? Okay.
And like very suitable for her neck, right? This really shows off her neck.
So just pushing everything to the front there. This is wanting to be this over here. So I'm going to listen to it and bring it over there.
Oh, wait, don't move it. I want to get a picture of that real quick. That's lips. Can I? Am I being weird? Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay. All right. Sorry. George. Photo moment.
Photo moments. Gotta take them when they're good. So again, bringing it back so I don't cut it too short. Forward. It's heavy. Coming from behind, taking weight out. One piece coming from the front, the tip, taking it out. Okay.
It's so good, Coco. I'm in love.
Aw. Thank you. So let's see.
I think this would be good with a long bang too, right? It's good to see, it's good to get inspired by all the ways that this is coming along and seeing, you know, different things that you would choose for your client.
Oh, are we moving into the baby bangs now?
Yes,
Oh.
it's the money piece.
So earlier during the consultation, you were talking about the only way for you to achieve what you wanted to do was by using the flat of the blade.
Well, on a baby bang, definitely. Because if you just open and close with your shears, it's just gonna be like curly like that, you know, which is super cute too. But I wanna my intention is for it to be like, and you'll see the first section, you're like, holy boops, holy boopsies. What is that going on? So I am doing this almost like I'm sitting in a hairline, using the flat of my blade, looking to see where it's gonna go, bringing it out, not too taut, and using the flat of my blade. Now you have to remember that all the rest of this hair is going to do that too, so it's going to weigh it down.
Nico's watching.
Hi, Nico.
Coco, can you both twist to the right and move towards the camera?
Thank you.
And Jet is loving the shape.
Thanks, Jet. So some of these little ones that are popping up, I can remove the weight on them.
Nico says, Coco!
Nico! You see how I keep on moving it around? I want to place them where they want to be. I'm not trying to change that. And to flatten them out a little bit, I might need a little blow dry just with the heat. That's fine too.
So was your original intention to do an angled bang, or that's just from the flow where the hair's going?
I'm just moving it around and listening to the hair.
Yeah.
Because I could say I want it one side, and if it doesn't want to be there, it's going to be like, fuck you, you know. But see, like, as I take each section and work with it, it's just lying better. This way. Looking to see where it wants to go, where the curl is going. Feeling it, removing weight, moving it around.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please ask. Thanks for joining us on our live. Coco's cutting a micro bang with a razor on curls. And her inspiration is Irene Cara,
Coco from Fame.
Coco from Fame.
Yep.
Is that where you got your name from?
Crazy, right?
80s Irene Cara.
Yes.
We love the 80s. And Ella asked how these bangs would be, how,
What was that?
remember when we were consulting, Ella was asking, well, how will these bangs grow in? And how
Yeah,
will
so
they
we were
do these bangs?
we were talking about it, and we were like, as they grow in, you can just kind of push them over to the side into the curl. Even just like that looks good. I'm gonna take more weight out of them though. I'm really looking at it.
11 minutes.
We have a.
Gorgeous.
Can I have a towel? Well, actually, I'll do this. Sorry.
Also, Jet has a question about her bangs. Are you making each section a little longer to help weigh them down?
Yeah.
Because of the cow, she was asking about the cowlick also, where the piece is popping up.
I'm sorry.
She was asking about like the pieces that were popping up as you were
Yeah.
cutting. Is it because of the cowlick, or is it just the curl pattern?
So the pieces that are popping up, obviously you just have to like move the hair around. You see, just putting a little heat on that, it looks much better. Like pressing down. So it's not like I have to make them straight. I just want to make them live in all that extra space that I just put. So so you can see it now.
Gorgeous.
And right here, I'm gonna take a little bit more. Because it's like, I wanna go here, cut me. And that's why I like to just blow the hair around, shake it about.
I don't like that shape.
What?
I kind of like that.
You like it?
I don't know. What do
Well,
you
too bad, it's not your haircut.
Leave it. We're collaborating. Just kidding.
What about, I don't mind it so much either.
Sorry, I'm moving a lot, guys.
So what's gonna happen if I take it away? Let's do this.
No, do your thing.
No, but
I just thought that curl was really cute.
So you see, like, it's sitting well. But if I would have left it really heavy, it wouldn't sit. If I dried it a little bit, it just would be like this pocket of little hair. But because I made all those little adjustments, going back, going forth, making like, cutting some of the weight from behind and and then underneath, it has a place to live.
It's so cool.
It's fun, right?
It's got to go. That curl has got to go.
No, it's here. It's right here,
you
yours.
kept it?
I just tucked it.
You kept my curl?
I kept your curl, Mama.
Okay, because someone in the audience is like, I like it too.
And it's right there, look. See it? These
So
bangs come with a warning. Don't, no, I'm kidding. Don't do these yourself at home.
Well, I was gonna say the commitment, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys see in the beginning how were you guys like, ooh, I might have changed my mind after that? Anyone? Yeah. But Coco committed, and Coco's like, hey, I'm doing this, and it's gonna work because I've done it before. Next demo is Steve, the sound guy. We should definitely just put him in the chair and open up.
Oh my God. So when I first started doing the bangs, you saw how I like literally was like, okay, this is what's going on. Tap, 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 tap. Next section, this is what's going on. And I kept on laying it over and over and over again. Then I was like, all right, let me dry it to see how it's settling, like a little bit. So if I had to go back in and remove some more weight, I can do that. But I didn't just go in and like, and then like, oh my God, you know, I really took my time with the placement. Okay.
And I think this is that really such a visual effect where we all got to see when the curls were talking to you.
Yeah.
Like they were talking.
They were blah, blah, blah. They were blah, 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 blah.
It's like Nina Cherry's Bob. All right, let's show the beginning video. Before video of our model. is
Was there any product in that before?
I don't think so. You didn't have any product in your head, did you?
And after.
Wow.
Ooh la 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 la.
Ah. All right. I'm gonna take all that hair off your face. She's like, I'm so itchy.
All right, well, we're going to drop off the live here.
Oh, is that it? We're
Check
done?
out no, I'm talking to Pony.
Oh, okay.
The people on Instagram. And we will get back with you guys later on today. This is our
Okay.
micro bangs and bob, inspired by Irene Cara.
What a feeling.
Bye. Thank you for joining.
I gotta stop because I won't. Let me get there. I'm gonna take a piece right here just to give a little volume, so it's not like. And I'm gonna
Coco.
cut from shorter to longer.
Coco, we have a comment from Michelle, also slash Chloe, saying, so fucking beautiful, Coco.
Aw, thank you.
Oh, cute. I'm sorry. Cute.
So fucking cute.
But I'm going to say beautiful.
So just this piece.
We gotta give Michelle that
Weight removal. Ugh. And that just kicks it up a little bit. Okay. All right, guys. She's did it.
That's perfect.
Cool. Oh my God, so much fun. Wait, one more bit. Sorry. One more and I'm done. So I moved it over in that piece above. I just took that weight out so it would sit a little better. Okay. She's done.
All right. You want to take off her cape?
Oh, okay.
And she can
done,
stand
right?
up.
Yeah.
Go ahead and stand up. All right. It's so cute.
See, I don't mind that stuff. See the little.
I don't mind it either. It's so good.
Cool.
Thank
Thank you for letting me.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Am I on? Hi. Okay, so so we're back. We're going to be cutting a curly mullet next, and but before we do that, we can kind of talk a little bit about what we just saw. If any of you have any questions and you want to send them in, please do. And one of the things that we did in the studio was that, you know, when Coco was initially cutting the bangs, the cowlicks were starting to get active and things were starting to jump up, and there was a little bit of like the heart rate thing. Remember when I talked about, yesterday I talked about we might do some things in this class that elevate your heart rate. And that was that moment, right?
Yes.
And
Definitely
so.
the heart definitely is elevated. But, well, it also elevated because I know that you guys saw it too. But because I know the technique of that and I've done them a few times, I know ways to get out of it. You know, the ways to get out of it is make sure that it's heavy on top and that you go through and then remove the weight after you. Oh, it's not on? Great. Hello? Can you hear me now? Yes? Okay. Now I have to answer the question all over now.
What was the question?
What you just said.
Oh yeah, like how do you say
sorry.
so when you start to see something that makes your heart rate go up and you're like, oh no, like I'm a little worried about what's going on. So Coco's talking about her thought process in that.
So like
moment.
as I was doing it, I know what's gonna help me get out of that, and the techniques like bringing the hair a little longer, waiting to take the weight out, moving the hair around, seeing where the bits that are troublesome, how I could fix that and like make them live better with all that hair on top, and just keep on moving it around, put product in, and as soon as I like flattened it out and just put a little heat into it, it started working, and then I kept on going in and taking more weight out. And yeah, I mean it's those things that you're like, oh wow, but the best thing is to just trust yourself and just trust the technique, right?
Yes. And we even explained to Ella, you know, the variety in ways that she can wear her bangs. And so, yeah, leave your clients with some instructions. So this is Anna. And when she came in and we were talking about what we're going to do, she explained that she's had short hair forever and she just wants to keep her length. And, you know, during the pandemic was a time, not that we're out of that, but, you know, during that time, she grew out her hair. And so she's kind of excited to have long hair. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do then? So I started to think of, you know, I mean, I'm a sucker for the 80s. So I started pushing her bangs forward and seeing like how great they would look on her, just kind of like a big, heavy, full bang. And then also just to, like if you take these away, you know, so something like that, where it's kind of like big chunky bang and then just like a little bit of a mullet. So take these sides away. And you can almost see like what that does to her face is really great. But also, if you look at what's left in the back, you know, look straight ahead, Anna. Look straight ahead. Oh. So what's left in the back is really nice, you know? It's like, I feel like that might just be fine to leave. So we're just gonna see as we go in. We're gonna start with the bang, and we're gonna do the sides, and it's gonna have definitely like an 80s vibe, kind of like Lisa. I don't know if you guys know who she is.
I wonder if I take you home.
I wonder if I take you home. Will you still love me? So I wonder if Anna will still love me.
A little flash dance.
Yeah, so if you look at, a little flash dance. If you look at these sides, I'm gonna think about, you know, where that would be. So it would probably be this whole thing here. And I'll probably just do it in one chunky section and just bring it to where the ear is exposed. Cool? So just that little earring she's wearing will be the star. And all of this I'm gonna cut into a bang, even though it won't live there, you know, but it'll be fun to just cut it all there, okay? So, any questions?
So you're kind of planning on cutting the sides around the cheekbone-ish area?
The sides will be just showing the ear. So yeah, like right, I'm using the ear as a reference, but you can choose, you know, something on the face as well. Cool? What do you guys think? Fun? All right. So we're gonna get started. I think I'm just gonna start with the bangs. And I'm going to also just wet it down. I love the makeup, Alicia.
The makeup looks beautiful.
Just gonna wet this down section by section so that I make sure that I can restyle it. Anna washed her hair this morning, so it's very clean.
Are you gonna use a scissor or razor?
I'm gonna use a razor. And also, each individual strand is medium to thick. And one of her concerns, she said, it looks like I have a lot of hair, but I don't. So she, you know, likes her hair to feel full. And just the length. I mean, at first I was like, well, what am I gonna do? She's already got a cute cut, you know? But I'm like, well, you're gonna have to go short. That's kidding.
I would have been very easy to convince to go short.
You what? What'd you say?
She said she would be very easily convinced to go back.
Oh, now you tell me.
But I think this is also something in that consultation, when we were talking about when she came in and she was like, I've grown my hair out. I'm liking having some length. I don't like lots of layers in my hair. And so there was this moment of like, okay, so you had a very clear idea of a picture that you, Karina, and you pulled it up. And as soon as she saw it, she's like, yes, that. Like there was, you know, it was a lot of this moment of like collaborating with the client. And it's like, what? And as soon as we pulled the hair off your face, off the cheekbone, like that, the sides, that changed the whole entire look. Also, we're like, this is what's going to work really well.
It's also like pictures. It's like as soon as she saw that picture, like the layers that she grew out and everything that she had just said went out the window. She's like, no, I want that. That's not. You know, so sometimes pictures really help. And you know what? They help you too, because at least you know how far you could push it. You know?
Yes. This is my best friend over here. Getting this in at the roots. Since I'm going to be cutting off the ends, I don't need to apply too much to the ends. So what we know with curls is if you hold them really tight and you cut them, what happens? They spring up and also graduate, right? So do like a little graduated bob right in front.
And are you going to take that all in one section, or are you going to take it in multiple sections?
I'm gonna take it in one section.
And why would you choose to take
Because it'll
that
graduate
large?
really good if I do that, right? So if I
Yeah.
cut it all at one length really strong, it'll just pop up. Combing it really tightly. Okay, how's where I'm standing? Is that okay? Is that good? And also, what will happen with all the over direction? Get short to long, right? So that'll look good too. So it'll get short to long, and I'll be, and even her longest piece here, let's think about it. If I cut this to eyebrow, where will it fall back here? So it would only be this much shorter. Cool? So it's good to kind of see like, well, what will happen if I do this before you do it? So again, I'm just gonna cut it two sections, one going this way and one going that way with the heel. I'm going to start with the heel. And I'm going to cut 2 eyebrow. So I'm going to measure, probably like bridge of nose.
Your tension is pretty taut.
And my tension's taut, combing everything into my section, elevating, and then just keeping that same rhythm all the way through. Except now I lost my tension, so I gotta go back and get it. It's a fun place to start, right in the bang. Bridge of nose, elevate. Check for balance. I'm gonna go a little shorter on this side. Okay. So that should show her eyebrows. Once it shrinks up, it'll show these eyebrows. All right, so I'm gonna move to the side. And this stuff here, just gonna kind of loosen it up so I can start to see it a little more. And as it dries, it'll be styled. Water. Okay, so now checking to see what my side is gonna be. So all of this, okay? And so I'm looking at the hair, opening it up rather than parting it. This too. And some of this I might end up cutting. We'll just see how this fits with this. I might cut some of that. A little bit of Curl Revive. And I'm going to cut it with just a slight bit of graduation on the bottom also. And just with this one section. So I could do it where I cut it like this. All right, so if I want that ear showing, I'll drop down. I'll look right here. Elevate. Cut it off. Lighten that up a little. Ear is showing. To my right.
Towards camera.
Still cutting. Yes. Cute, 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 cute. Other side.
Karina, why did you decide to go with an upward stroke around the face there?
Because then I can nail that length at the bottom, right? So if I go from the top and try to do that, also I'm wanting to get longer on top. So cutting from short to long is easier for me than to try to be longer on top and then get shorter towards the bottom.
And it builds that nice strength right where the intention is. If she would have did it the other way, likely she would have had a heavy, like some bit still, so just get rid of it.
Or like a longer piece than I wanted it to be. And that's the same when you're doing like round graduation. You're wanting to go around this way and you want to get tighter towards the ear. I usually start here and work up. I might have wet the bangs a little too much. But, you know, live and learn. Where did the out-of-towners go eat last night? Oh, that's a fun place. Yeah. Oh, I love Donia. All right, so here we go. So right around the ear, I'm going to comb my section. And then drop. And right when I see wherever that curl reveals the ear, I'll elevate away. Keep my eye there. Soften this a little so it's not too heavy. And then around the face, go change my elevation and over direction. Give her a couple of framing pieces, making sure that that ear is showing, and also checking my balance. Let's move this away. Like, just mullet it right away so that you can't change your mind or get too scared, right? Are you sure you want a mullet? And I'm playing, you know, because sometimes like I don't know, as hairdressers, sometimes you get a little scared to cut a mullet. Not all of you guys, but some of you. You're like double checking, triple checking. Are you sure? Just in case this is a little too long, I'm just going to go in and just take a little away. Right there. All right. So if I hadn't wet this so wet, we could already see what it was going to look like. So right now, I'm going to let this stuff kind of fall over the back, and it shows me that I definitely want to cut some of that back. You see? So I need to give her a good profile. So I'm looking at her profile right now, and this is just flat, yeah? So let's plan. What will we do? It might be okay, or we could do the same thing to these two sections that we did here. Wet it a little bit. Because it kind of has, I almost do like that it's not cut here. I don't know yet. Let me think for a sec. While
Well, you have options, right? So you could go in and do some weight removal.
Yes.
What other options does she have?
Anybody?
I mean, yeah, if you didn't, you could just connect it slightly and certain, like maybe around the perimeter if you didn't want to, if you wanted to see something.
I know, because
Yeah.
like this profile right here is reminding me of like the Isadora, right? The Sassoon Isadora. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah.
If you look it up, just put in Isadora haircut and it'll come up. So right now I'm just kind of, I realize I wet her bangs too much because I was like just wetting them and talking and I wasn't thinking. So sometimes you do something that you're not really wanting to do when you are not present in what you're doing. It's okay, it happens to all of us. But I do want to dry it a little more just so I can move it around and see what's happening. I'm on medium heat. I'm holding her curls and getting that air right close to them. Then I can drop these bangs back and then I'll have a better idea of what to do.
I love that shape already. It just looks so cute on her.
What's that?
There's like an elegance to it.
It is, right? She's like, she all of a sudden has like an accent. She does have an accent actually.
She's from España.
She's like, Coronation Day. I watch way too much Disney. Right, so I feel like that's better because it's already kind of drying. Excuse me. All right, so chin up, all the way up. Okay, come back. My part is really strong still. But I kind of like what's happening because it's giving it that volume. And I'm done. Okay. So yeah, there is maybe a little something back here. So what I'm noticing is that I still want to, but maybe just a little less there, okay? So instead of doing the whole thing, I'll do a little bit at a time, and I'm just gonna lighten this up without giving it too much of a shape. Like Eric said, just a little weight removal. But I love this. So I don't even think I'm gonna be touching her ends or her actual length at all. Sorry. Okay, all the tangles are gone. And I'm going to go in and take off just a little bit of that length and bulk. So it helps just lift that up a little bit. Maybe a little more here.
Looks great. So good.
So now these guys can marry into there. And I'm honestly like, I'm done.
You have 37 minutes.
I'm still going to be styling a little bit, so I'm adding a little curl revive to the ends. I don't think I'm cutting anymore, though. I mean, when you're done, you're done. You don't have to keep pretending.
You don't want to connect any of the back clips of the pipe?
Maybe repeat that.
I could do that, but then it would change it, right? So it would turn into something that you see a lot of, and I don't want to do that. I want to keep it like unique to Anna. I might do some detailing in my bangs because, you know, after this fell over, there was a lot of over direction, so I'm just checking to see how that looks. I might do a little there. I might not. I just am looking. Look at these cute bangs. So see how Curl Revive is kind of like nice just on its own? Yeah, so I might just do a little bit in here. But I love the bang. I love this, just a very heavy, no weight removal. Leaving it. I like that side. This side's a little bit clunky, so I'm just gonna get this side. And then noticing how this goes into here is okay because of the overcut. So sometimes you cut something on top that's disconnected and falls over the rest, and you could call that an overcut rather than an undercut. So it's just kind of an overcut that works. Can you shake a little like this? Yeah, stay there. Don't move, stay there. Okay, come back up. So I'm just going to get a little of this. And so this stuff is all the stuff that was combed forward, and now it's coming back. So I'm going to lighten this up here. You don't have to always cut every hair, and that's something that is hard for us sometimes, right? We're like, okay, I did 3 things. $100. I want my $2. So it's like, I think it's okay. But when you like something, you like it. So instead of cutting those off, all I'm doing is just lightening them up. All right. I'm looking at my mirror, checking everything, making sure I like it.
So we have a comment from D
Yeah?
online, and stunning. Looks like a perfect Victorian era mullet.
She's like, sister, sisters.
You notice too, like you were saying, are you gonna connect that? But as soon as she started moving around, putting product in, it's pretty now, right?
Just for extra volume right there. And I'm just going to go over the ends with a little leave-in. Pushing, sometimes if you push them all the way into your knuckles, they turn into perfect little curls. It's like a large pick. Okay, so I'm just going to take my diffuser and chin up for me and just make sure you're comfortable. You're going to be like that for a minute. Medium heat, high pressure. Sometimes I'll cut my curly client, I'll ask them to come in with clean hair, and I'll cut them similar to this, where I just kind of wet them down a little bit. And then after the cut, I'll just apply a product over the dry hair. And I always ask them, like, do you like how this looks? Should we leave it, or do you want to wash? Should we start over? And most of the time they're like, oh, I like it. Let's just leave it. And so it turns into a less time, you know, the time is less. So it's really about sometimes just giving them a great cut and not necessarily doing the whole wash and everything. Okay, look straight ahead. And then come forward. Okay, don't flip back, just come up. Okay. Let's take a look at the before of my model. Before and after. Yeah, right?
Amazing.
Sorry, it's a short haircut. But, you know, what are some pickups from this or takeaways from these 2 demos from today? Yes?
I really love how when you were cutting the front, meaning for that was just like setting your attention of where you wanted the length to be, because I definitely would have cut that down with the razor. So like the not having weight down there or anything like that, that was a aha moment for me, I guess.
Yeah, awesome.
I just wanted to say that the 3 sections that you did was like my aha moment, that less is more. Like you not connecting and like really overdoing it is like spectacular. I don't know. It looks amazing.
Thank you. And remember that a haircut is a series of choices. So I could have chose to do that just so that I could keep cutting, but I just didn't want to at all. So I was like, I don't want to do it. It's so good. And so, you know, and you can totally connect this, but it just makes her look like she has a lot of hair, right? And instead of making this all tendrily, I left it full. And then, you know, just the over direction, it gives you a short to long layer. And so again, it's thinking of all your basics. Like what happens to the hair when I do this? And then making those choices.
Right. And I think that really, where she's like, I don't like my hair really layered. You know, doing the over direction gave you layering, but it also didn't over layer the hair. So you were able to like leave the weight. You addressed her issues with being over layered.
Right, so the longer layers are in the back and the shorter ones are in the front when you over direct towards the front.
I did have one more question. Yes. So if a client had come in, you know, I'd noticed when you were figuring out the sides, you didn't really part it. You just kind of let the hair kind of speak of like what you were going to cut short and what was going to be long in the back. And so my question would be if like a client had come in and kind of had a mullet haircut that had grown out and they felt like, you know, from their looking straight on at their haircut, it always feels wide in the side. Would you add that to the short, or would you just do a lot of weight removal? Like, is there a point where you don't want to go any further back with the short mullet part? Does that make sense?
Yes. So I feel like each person, I don't know, I feel like every single mullet is different, you know, and I think a lot of times when people want a mullet, they have a specific one in mind. Anna, on the other hand, didn't ask for a mullet. She was just like, you know, I want to keep my length, and I suggested one, and I showed her a picture. So that's kind of how that came around, and also I kind of approached it similarly as I did in the photo, which is like a fuller kind of 80s version of one. So you go further back, you're just going to expose more head shape, you know, like do you want more head shape? Look straight ahead so I can see how that would look on you. So if it would just be like a little smaller here, right? So it's really like, and would be really cute on her. So you kind of just can make the choice with your client, you know, and ask, or you can make it yourself. You can just decide yourself, I'm going to go further back. So, I mean, just have fun with it, because they are fun and they're exciting to do, because you are always like, are you sure you want a mullet? So thank you guys so much. I think we're ending early today. That just gives you an extra time on your lunch break. And I want to thank everybody online for joining us. And we're going to have both models stand up so you guys can take a look at their haircuts. Will you stand up for me? And then just stand right in front of the camera.
Stand right next to each other if you guys are okay with that.
Yes. All right. Can you guys turn to your right? And then turn to the wall. And then turn to your other right. And then face the camera again. Thank you guys so much.
Yay!
All right. Okay, so remember our upcoming events. take a look, mark your calendars, get over here. Hope to see you
Also-
guys soon.
Also, I wanted to talk about the Pony app. If you guys don't have the Pony app, that's something, a great investment, because there's
Yeah,
gonna
do you
be
guys here have
more-
it? Yes?
Okay,
Cool.
great.
Awesome. Yeah, the Pony app is very inexpensive for what you get. And you get so many classes that you can go back and watch over and over again. So thank you guys. Enjoy your lunch. And I will see you when you get your own models. I'm losing my voice. Lulu.